Hello guys, the coin here once again. So I'm back. Um, we're roughly about 1 hour and 10 minutes away from the start of from the start of the stock market. I believe this today will be a very important day because I believe that we will be starting to dump hard today. That's my belief. So I decided to document it. I don't know how long this stream is going to take, how long it's going to take. So let's just recapitulate. It's not how it's said, but whatever. Let's recap what is going on. So this is the futures market. Let me take a look at Bitcoin real quick. So let's take a look at what's going on Coinbase. So Bitcoin actually started to dump hard around, it stopped dumping hard at 4:40 in the morning, my time. It went up to 9,327. Now it's starting to dump again, and I believe, like I said, these lows here are nothing. 89.79, this is nothing, man. Today we're going to start to see what not the real crash, because like I said, the path that we're on is not for new lows in the stock market in Bitcoin, but to test the lows. This is what it's all about. So silver and gold are actually dumping as well. Like we can see here, it's finding resistance on this fib circle here. So let's take a look at the Euro USD. Yeah, the euro is dumping like I was actually expecting as well, because when the market dumps, everything goes down and the value of dollar increases. So let's take a look at crude oil. Crude oil is down. Let's take a look at Brent. Yeah, Brent is down as well. So yeah, like I said, guys, today and maybe tomorrow. Well, today is Thursday, right? So today and tomorrow will be it will be very hard day for the stock market in general, and I don't know if it will continue on Monday. But like I said, we have to wait what happens here. So we're taking a look at US oil. Let me take a look at other indices. I guess I already covered silver. Silver is starting to dump as well, because like I said, everything is going to be affected, man. Silver, gold, everything will drop, man. Stocks, Take a look at the euro once again. Euro USD. Yeah, like we're seeing here, it's finding resistance on this fib channel, but I believe it will break, or this fib circle here, whatever you want to call it. It's actually playing out. It crossed this green fib circle, it dumped. Here it happened before. Then when we crossed it, we had the pump. So that's how I see how it plays out. Kind of the same thing. It crossed and then it went back, and then after it crossed again, went to the upside. Guess this fib circle was the resistance here, the support, I mean. So yeah, it's I believe it's going to be a very dark day. Today and tomorrow will be going to be very, very, very hard days, man. I don't believe the move will end tomorrow. Maybe we'll end it on next Friday. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm really convinced of this, not because I want to be convinced or because I'm biased, but just because of everything else. You know, let's take a look at the DAX index. See what's going on with that. Let's put it on the 5-minute. So yeah, the DAX when it opened had kind of a rally. Now it's starting to dump again. So yeah, that's what I believe is going on. Let me just go back to the Dow Jones futures. Yeah, this broadening wedge really played out, man. So it broke in here, it broke in here, went a little bit higher, and then the dump. So let me just take a look at BTC once again. So like we're seeing, you know, yeah, this fib circle here, because this is a fib circle, this is strong resistance here. Bitcoin wasn't able to surpass it. So yeah, let's continue to see what happens here. But like I said, man, today is going to be a very hard day, and maybe tomorrow will be labeled as another Black Friday. Because like I said, this move is going to last maybe, I don't know, maybe a week, you know, because the thing is that at least in Bitcoin, the dump really didn't took that long. You know, I actually believe that the dump that Bitcoin had in March actually took longer, but it didn't. Quite surprisingly. And we can actually see how long it took for Bitcoin to dump. So it actually started to accelerate here. So I believe we already are here, or no, maybe not, whatever. But let's just check out how long it took, date range and price. So we kind of, so this was the top. Let's map it from here. This was the top, so around 10,530. So it took about 28 days and 4 hours for the dump to happen. Wait a second, I'm not doing it right. Yeah, from the top, because basically the dump actually started here, so it took 21 days, which could actually be at par, I don't know. But let's see here. So here, yeah. So here was the top, so we took about 32 days to reach the lows. So my projection is kind of this. This is the projection that I have for Bitcoin. You know, like I said, I don't believe we're going to reach the lows, because that's not projected in the chart. In the 1929 stock market crash, it's not predicted. We could still actually go a little bit lower, maybe around here. So maybe 4,626. That's what I actually believe. Kind of like this, yeah. Or maybe even, yeah, 4,560. Maybe this is the kind of where we wick, or even it could be even here. I don't know. So I would say between 5,044 and 4,532. That's what I would say. I don't believe we're going lower because we're going to have another correction to the upside. So let's put it middle range. Middle range, it would put us at, I don't know, maybe 47.71, I don't know. So this is the projection that I made. I don't know how long it's going to take. So like I said, this took actually 32 days. Maybe we need another 32 days. Let me just put, yeah, I guess I have to make the move one. I have to make that chart once again. So, but let's kind of make kind of the same projection. Although I don't believe, for whatever reason, I don't believe it's going to take another 32 days, but who knows. So let's do another one. So from here, no, this is only, a time one. Let me just put in another one here. So date and price range. So let's do it. So let me start again from the range that I was putting here. So yeah. Okay, let's use this. Let's use this one. So what is it? 18 days. Let's see if it is 32. I don't believe it will take 32 days this time, but who knows? So 32 days and 4 hours. So that would be kind of the move here. But just let me check on the if I can try to find how long it could take, or how long it took back in 1929. It's a little bit hard, but maybe I can find something just in regards of the steepness of the correction. So here it is. So kind of way the way through. This could take a lot. This could take a lot. Yeah, this could not take very long here. So I don't know, maybe a week or something, or less. You know. So this is the 1929 chart here, right? So from this to this, I don't even know how long it took. I don't know, but it doesn't look like it took much, because I guess I took the shadow here in the daily. So I don't know, looks like 2 or 3 days, I would say. Yeah. Maybe this move is only going to take about 2 or 3 days, just taking a look at how the candles look like, you know. So this looked like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe. Just on the patterns of the bars or the candles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, between 5 and 6 days, I would say. Because once again, I took this shadow here from the 1929 crash on the daily. So it is possible, man, that it could only take about 6 or 7 days for this to play out. So I don't know. Just like I said, just according to if we understand that these are daily candles, then that's what I would say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah. Let me see if I can get it a little bit further. Let's remove the auto from here. Come on, why is this not moving, man? Come on, what the fuck? No, like I said, if this is if these are the daily candles, I don't believe they're 4-hour candles. It can't be. So 1, right? 1 day, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5. 6, 7. Yeah, I would say about 7 days. That puts us 7 trading days, right? So if this is going to happen today, so today is Monday, I would say that I don't know. Maybe next Monday or next Tuesday, we're already at the lows, I would say. I don't know. Let's wait and see. But like I said, I believe these are daily candles here, so. So 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's hard, man. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. In line to what I'm projecting. 7 days, I would say. 7 to 8 days. 7 to 8 days, I believe. But let's see how it plays out once again. But I believe that in 7 days we have another bottom here. We're not going to lower lows yet. We will have a correction that may take a little while, or maybe it doesn't, because this was the biggest one. I believe this was the biggest correction to the upside, and I believe from now on, after the first dump starts, then everything. The dump will start to be more fluently and will accelerate. That's what I believe will happen. So my projection is that between 6 to 7 days we will find a bottom near the lows of March. So I believe the same will happen in the crypto market as well. We're not going to the low, we're not going to 39,000, I would say, but between 4,000 to 4,000 between 4,000 to 4,700, I would say. So once again, let's put this into perspective. No, 1 day is too long. One day is too long. So let's see here. Let's try to make another thing. So 7 days, right? Yeah, let's start to dump from here. 7 days, which may put us around Yep, that's what I would say. Around this area. So let me see if I have some help from the pivots here to try to tell me where this could. No, I don't have any help from them. But yeah, this could be kind of, yeah, maybe here. Really, it may be around here to the S1. So I would say around this level here. So let me go back to the BTC USD. Look how well it played these support levels. So let me go back. Where did I put the projection? I don't know if it was on Coinbase. Yep, it was on Coinbase, but I have to so instead of all this move, I have to be taking stuff away. So instead of 32 days, let's just put 7 days here. So seven days. Which could, like I said, you know, between the middle, it could be around here. Let me just check again where the pivots here were. So the pivot, there was a pivot around the S1, so it is quite possible that we could get to 47.71 where I put it. So I believe this might be the bottom here. 47.71, I would say. I put it a little bit lower, so I would put this around here, just according to the pivots, because the fib channels, I haven't worked them out as well to tell me where the bottom is. I believe this is an extreme low. It might actually wick to 45.32. It's possible. I'm not saying it's not, but I don't know. It's more reasonable for 47, around the 47 area is more reasonable, but I don't know. Let's wait and see what happens. But these are my projection, guys. Once again, I'm not basing this on a half-baked theory. I'm just basing that on the 1929 stock market crash, guys. That's all I'm doing. And that 1929 stock market, or the Dow Jones stock market crash, is seen everywhere, like you see there. Here, take a look at here. Look, This was the high of the V-shaped recovery. We went down, we're kind of making this M or W pattern. Now it's going straight down. So So like you can see here, you can see the pattern on the DAX. You can see it on the FTSE. So the DAX, like we take a look at the C, which is the Portuguese indicator, which actually follows the same thing. It's like I said, guys, it's incredible, man. So that's the reason why I believe this is. Come on, guys, leave me the fuck alone now, man. So like we can see here on the side 20, same thing. This. So like I said, on the side 20, the UKX, look, same pattern here as well. Do you see it, guys? That's what I'm seeing in the 1929 chart. That's what I'm talking about. So let me go back to the futures. I don't know if anyone is actually watching. Hey, I'm 16 and recently started trading. Any quick tips? Well, Alex, I guess you're not around anymore unless they're messing with my viewership numbers. Any quick tips? Look, man. Look, I've been trading for a while now, and yeah, I still haven't mastered it. But I would say if I would do a short, man. I would do a short. Let's see where BTC is at the moment, or at the stock market. Well, the stock market is a little bit more difficult, I would say. I don't know. Maybe it's too late for a short, but still, man, I would kind of make it short right here. You know, put the stop loss at around 92.01. Use you know, maybe a very small leverage short. I don't know, 5x maybe. I don't know what you're comfortable with. Put a stop loss if you're right here. Maybe open a position here. Put a stop loss at. Wait, let me take a look at the pivots here. So, yeah, that's where I would put. I would put a stop loss at this pivot here at 9202. If you want to open a position right now, I would do that. Put a stop loss in here. So with the 2 or 5x, I don't know what platform you're using. So that's what I would do, you know, because if it goes up, you will lose a little bit of money, but nothing very particularly. So, and this is a support here, support zone. So that's what I would do. Always try to put open orders between support and pivot points, you know, like in here. If you open the position right in here and you put your stop loss in here, you wouldn't be liquidated, or you wouldn't be stopped out, right? And here, kind of the same thing. If you were in here, if you bought around this place here, that's where you would put your stop loss. It's a bit high, but you know, work with the pivots to find out where to put your stop losses. So yeah, we still have time. We still are 27 minutes away from the stock market to happen. No, 37, sorry. 37 minutes away. So let's switch back to the Dow Jones futures market. Well, like I said, guys, it's going to be, if I'm reading the bars right, this move is going to take us about 7 days, about that. So if that is the case, you know, 7 days is really not much. So seven days, guys. I'll be right back. I'm going to take a smoke just to enjoy the next few hours. I think, you know, I'm very convinced, you know, and I'm not convinced because I'm biased or because I'm making, you know, I'm taking a look at the at some kind of an hourly candle, or because I'm taking a look at the at a trend line, or because I'm taking a look at the, you know, although the fibs are signaling that as well, so that's quite impressive as well. The fib channels, which are based on Fibonacci, on the Fibonacci sequence. You know, I'm basing all this in a chart from 1929, when the big depression crash of 19 happened between 1929 and 1932, guys. That's what I'm basing All of my analysis is based on this, not on anything else, because it's playing up so nicely. And like I said, you can see the patterns all over. You can see it on the SPX. You can see it on the Dow. You can see it on the FTSE. You can see it on the side 20. You can see it on the DAX. So this is not just hocus pocus and whatever, but it is a chart. It is a chart that is from 1929, guys, and it's playing out in the markets right now. How crazy is that, man? How crazy is that? A chart from 1929, man. A chart that is almost a century old. A chart that is almost a century old is playing out right now, guys. How crazy is that? If that isn't crazy, I don't know what is. So if any of you is a trader and are watching, I guess nobody's watching the video right now, but later, guys, short everything besides gold and silver, because I'm still not sure they're not moving very fast right now. But I believe that as the stock market intensifies, as it drops harder, gold and silver will do as well. But I would start to short stocks left and right, man, when the market opens. That's what I would do. The leverage is up to you. Many traders, there may be a couple of traders among you, but if you want to play safe, don't go above 5x. Try to make put a stop loss. Go to the trading view, find the pivots indicator, check out where a pivot is, and put your stop loss there, a little bit above it. And that's what I would do. But I would short everything. I would look Tesla, Amazon, whatever, Intel, whatever, man. Let me take a look at Tesla, man. Let me take a look at Tesla. So in here, if you want to short a short position, although it's quite high, that's where I would put my stop loss here, right? So it went to this high, never went higher, so I believe it will never get it back for a while now, because like I said, man, the stock market is going to last. It's not going to go away that fast. It's going to take about one year and a half, I believe. if the global reset is not coming, like the guys from the IMF and the World Economic Forum talk about. So I would put a stop loss in here, 984.39. Same thing with so let's take a look at Amazon, which have been making incredible gains. So I would put a stop loss on Amazon around here, 2755.27. That's where I would put a stop loss, and do I don't know, maybe, you know, low risk 5x. If you're an experienced trader, you know where your limit is. That's what I would do, guys. Because yeah, I really believe this is going to be a heck of a 7 days. Heck of a 7 days. But we will see. We're close. We're 29 minutes away from the opening of the markets. So let's take a look at crude again, the WTI or WTI. Yep, oil is already breaking the support level there. Still, if you want to open a position, maybe wait for it to go a little bit higher and open a position on the pivot here, or put a stop loss on the pivot, because this could be broken. It was broken already 2 times. It still could be broken one more time. I believe it will. It has broken, although not much above. I would put stop loss kind of here. In the Bitcoin market, well, in the Bitcoin market already told how it's going to play out, kind of. Let me take a look at Ethereum USD. So if you want to open a short position on in Ethereum, put a stop loss on 238.08. Let's take a look at XRP. I know it's high, guys, but you know, look, the same thing. I would put a stop loss in this pivot here on XRP, so around 18,451. That's what I would do. But I'm not a financial advisor, so I really can't and shouldn't be talking about this. But that's just an opinion of mine, nothing else. So let's continue to swap. Let's take a look at BSV USDT, which is the coin that I actually believe has potential. But like in this bear market, nothing is going to be spared. That's why I'm not going to bother to be holding to any crypto asset at all, because I know it's going to dump. So same thing here with the BSV. If you want to open a short position, put your stop loss at 174.1394. That's what I would do. Check out BNB, USDT. Yeah, the BNB. It's kind of the same thing. Open a short and put your stop loss at around 1972. That's what I would do. Because these pivots and these support lines, you know, like I said, this one was briefly breached once, twice, and never came back to it, and then dumped. This was support too. This then became pivot. So it will be quite hard for it to reach this level. It could, but you know, it's kind of a safe spot if the market decides to turn on you. So let's take a look what is left. Let's take a look at Link, which has been pumping a lot, you know, one of the most overvalued coins in my opinion. So we haven't reached the pivot yet, so I would put my stop loss on Link here at resistance 1, 4.88. That's where I would put a stop loss here. I'm not really for shorting the precious metals, because although I believe that the precious metals will go down as well, you know, the precious metals have been depressed a lot. But like I said, the reason why I'm saying this is because when we went to these lows in March, you know, look at what happened to silver here on March 18th. It dropped as well to lows 11.641. So you know, what are the odds of the same happening again? I would say high. Gold. Let's take a look at gold. Gold, although it doesn't look like it's going to happen right now, I don't know. That's what could happen again. You know, if we're testing the lows, maybe here, maybe this support too here. 1483, I don't know. Because like I said, this was the lows in March, so gold dumped as well. You know, gold, silver, everything dumped. Everything dumped. So once again, that's what I believe will be played out. The Forex markets, well, in the Forex markets, you should short everything but the dollar. So in the case of Euro USD, you should short. In the case of USD, any other pair you should long. Let me just take a look at USD JPY, which is the Japanese yen. We're not seeing that much. Let me take a look what happened on March when everything dumped. March. So was it? So, yeah. Even the dollar dumped here, man. That's a weird one. Even the dollar dumped. So why the hell did the Euro USD? Yeah, the Euro dumped. Let me take a look at, I don't know, USD and New Zealand. Where is it? Yeah. Let me take a look what happened. The New Zealand US dollar. No, actually the US dollar pumped here. Yeah. So we already at the lows. I believe that the same is going to happen. Let me take a look at the USD Japanese yen once again, because it's not making much sense. But yeah, the dollar actually dropped. The dollar actually dropped here. Let me take a look at USD, the ruble. Yeah, in this case, the US dollar actually gained against the ruble. So I believe that will happen again. So what other currencies are around? The USD versus Canadian dollar. Yeah, the same thing. So the dollar is very strong against the Canadian dollar, so I believe there will be another pump in this crash here. Let me take a look at other indicator what happened here. Canadian, Canada, the Schweizer Franken. Yeah, in this case the dollar lost against the Schweizer Franken. Yeah, so I believe the dollar will lose value again, I would say. And done after that, the pump here? Not quite clear, but I believe that the dollar will dump again. Just according to what happened here between February and March once again, which coincides with the lows here. So let me take a look at another Canada, CHF, USD, Singapore dollar. Let's take a look at what happened in the Singapore dollar. Yeah. I don't know if this happened before the dump. Kind of weird once again. That's a weird one. From March 8th to 23rd of March. Yeah, maybe it is. I think that the US dollar is going to gain strength against the Singapore dollar. Let's see if I find something else here. USD. USD INR, which is the Iranian rand, or whatever they call it. So yeah, I believe it's going to drop again. So I believe that the dollar will gain, Indian rupee, sorry, against the Indian rupee. So it looks like the US dollar is going to pump again. USD against the Turkish lira. So yeah, the Turkish lira has been losing a lot of value because of what is happening in the country as well. So I believe that the dollar will gain again. Yeah, like I said, in most currencies the dollar is a safe bet in this crash. So that is what is going on. What's going on, man? So we are roughly 17 minutes away from the opening of the stock market. The stock market. Stock market. I'm just taking a look at another YouTube channel as well. I won't touch March lows. Test the March lows in 7 days. So 14 minutes left for the stock market to open. Let us check what is going on. I'm actually quite excited. I just took a little dump, so I'm back to see what's going on. So we have roughly about 11 minutes left for the stock market to open. back here to Coinbase, check out what Bitcoin is doing, and let's put on the pivots to see how high it could actually go. Yeah, it won't reach the pivot up there. I don't even believe that we're going to top this top here. Seven minutes left, guys. So everybody's saying that we might have a little pump before we dump. Honestly, you know, just by the bars pattern, I don't think so, but who knows. Let me just take a look at investing here. Man, this site makes my computer slow, man. I don't know the reason for that, but it fucking does. Yeah, I'm watching the real-time Dow Jones futures because unfortunately there was a delay. So currently on the real time we are at 25,231. Let's take a look at how much it is here on the delayed chart. 25,255, 25,225. Yeah, it's a bit lower. It's going a little bit higher right now. 25,234. No, it's lower. It's much higher on the delayed chart. So 25,267. We are at 25,236. So no, like I said, man, I don't even believe that we will get to the pivots. even when the market's open. I don't believe that we're going to hit the pivot. Maybe previous support, which was here, maybe at this level, but I don't believe we will reach the pivot here. But we will see. Sorry guys, lost my connection for whatever reason. It kind of sucks. Sorry guys. Sorry. Lost the connection. I wasn't even paying attention. It's the second time this has happened to me. I don't know why, but whatever. But yeah, let me go back. So even the gap I was talking about, this gap here, it even matches up with the gap from the 1929 chart, man. It's just incredible how it's playing out, man. Look at the gap right here. This is the gap, guys. This is the gap that I'm talking about. Here it is. Can you see the gap? This is the gap that I'm talking about. This is the one gap from the Dow Jones. So if I should be taking the information from all of this, I don't believe that this gap is going to be filled at all. So it's not going to be filled. It's not going to be filled anymore. So yeah, look at what is happening, man. It tried to go back a little bit up higher, didn't do it. It's starting to dump again. So yeah, man, it really is incredible, man. It really is incredible that we had that gap on the 1929 futures on the 1929 chart, and we're having the same gap here over and over again, and it's not going to get filled. So from what I understand right now, these are the lows. We're not going back to these levels perhaps for another year and a half. Do you understand what I'm saying here? We're not going back to these levels here. We're not going back in the Dow Jones. We're not going back to these levels again, man. So we have to prepare for a long bear market. We're really not going back to these lows, man. To these highs. Well, yeah, to these highs, because basically, yeah, we can kiss these highs here goodbye. 25.4, 26.5, you know. I don't know how long it's going to take for us to get there, but it's not going to be in the next year and a half. That I'm positive of it, you know. It didn't happen here. As long as this crash lasts, you know, we're not going to see these lows again. No way, man. Look at the gap. We're not going back to these levels, guys. We're not going back to these levels. So let's take a look at Bitcoin then. If this is happening to the Dow Jones, you can mark my words in here, man. Or don't mark it, because it's a little bit different, the stock market. The crypto, because it can recover, but I believe that these levels here, there will not be reached again. So for a while, 9,202 are not going to get back for a while. So let me mark here. So the Dow is at 25. This was the gap, 25,426, 25,426. Yep, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is dumping a little bit as well. So if that is what I saw from the stock market, I don't believe, like I said, man. So that was at 1431. $14.31. Yep, I would say, although like I said, in Bitcoin is a little bit different, I don't know. But we could very well not see 9231.88 for a while now. But we will have to see. I don't know if there is any pivot here. Let me take a look. Yep, there's a pivot down there at 9205, but there's no pivot around this level here. But I would say, yeah, I would say that maybe it's not the stock market. Like I said, crypto, recovers a little bit faster and drops harder as well. So it pumps harder and it drops harder. So I would say, maybe Bitcoin is not going to see 9,231.60 for a while, for a long while. But like I said, we can't compare quite the crypto market, because like I said, the crypto market drops harder and pumps harder than the stock market. But yeah, I would mark that in a way. Don't take my word for it there, but on the stock market, oh yeah, on the Dow Jones, yeah. So let's see if I'm still rolling. Hey D, not you. How are you doing, man? I know that you're not listening right now. Nobody's watching because I was blank for whatever reason. So I don't know what's going on. It's already the second time that it happens. But yeah, my assessment of all this is that yep, I don't believe that the Dow Jones will get back to this gap that we saw for a long time. The Dow Jones is not going back to 25,424 for a long while. That's what I would say about the Dow Jones. Let's take a look at the futures, YM. We don't have the gap here, so it's a little bit different. But on the futures, I don't believe we're going to reach that level again. On the futures, on the Dow Jones, the index. So that's my assessment from all of this. And like I said, I could be right, or I could also be right about Bitcoin, but like there might be a little bit of discrepancy. So like we're seeing, the Dow is continuing to dump. So like I said, guys, I don't believe that the Dow Jones is going back to the gap, man, for a long time. I don't know if it will last at least one and a half years, I would say. At least 1.5 years. So the Dow Jones is going lower. Like I said, guys, this is it. I don't believe that the Dow will go back to this gap here, 25,424, for at least a year, at least a year and a half. According to that pattern that I saw, I'm not seeing us going back there. And maybe this is the same thing to Bitcoin. You know, maybe it's not going back to that level that I was talking about as well. I don't know. But like I said, you know, like Bitcoin pumps and dumps harder than the stock market. So yeah, but I would say maybe we will not see these highs again. I will put here a little line, and let's see if it comes true. So let's just mark here, just put a little text and a little arrow to mark the spot. Let's put it here. So let's put a text. Let's see if I have to erase it quickly or not. Bitcoin is not going to 92.31 for at least a year and a half. Let's see if it comes true. Like I said, you know, I'm just basing this on the Dow Jones. So the Dow Jones, yeah, and let's see if I'm right or wrong. But I will put a little mark in here as well. Put another arrow just to mark the spot. And let's put a little text here. I could erase it in a couple of minutes, I don't know, but I'll just do it. Just, you know, for whatever reason. No, for the reasons that I saw on the chart. The Dow Jones is not going to retest 25,424 for a year and a half. Let's see if I have to raise it or not. If I have no problem with that. But I'm going to mark this here. Yeah, I could be wrong on Bitcoin because, like I said, Bitcoin is a little bit of a different animal because, like I said, it pumps harder and dumps harder, but I would almost be sure of it in the Dow Jones. But let's see if I'm right or wrong. getting close. Let's see if it gets back to it. Let's take a look at BTC once again. Yep, looks like BTC is not doing it as well for now. Could change. Like I said, Bitcoin is a little bit of a different animal, but let's see. Let's just test my theory. That's what I'm doing. I'm testing my theory according to the 1929 stock market crash chart. So there's no pivot here. Oh, there is. There's a little pivot here. Support 1, but there is no other support up there. Yep, I don't believe there is a support here. Or is it? No. I guess I just put it that trend line. Little wick here. I guess that might be pushing us up for a little while, or maybe not, who knows. But generally the wicks, the wicks are going to put us up. So let me check out the DJY once again. So yeah, basically the Dow Jones is at support level here. Pivots is more up there. It's not holding. Looks like it's crossing to the downside. Kind of like Bitcoin is doing, right? No. In Bitcoin's case, it's a little bit higher. Yeah, but let's continue to see if my theory adds up. So we crossed the support, now it became resistance. I guess we're dumping. Yeah, the line is drawn up well. So it became support again. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart. Yeah, Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the DJY once again. I actually closed the investing chart because it makes my computer low to see just where we at. Because once again, there's a delay on the chart, guys. It's not real time, unfortunately. So we're at 25,362. Kind of the same level we're at, where we are right now. $25,362 in real time. 362, now it's at 391. Seven, 94, 93. Well, looks like it reached it, so I guess I can't take this into consideration anymore. My theory failed, so I have to remove it. Yeah, maybe the pivot here, I don't know. 25,391. Weird. Still at 25,391. Why the hell is this not moving, man? The Nasdaq, the S&P is moving, but 25,447. Okay. Okay, guys, my theory failed. We went back up to these levels in comparison to what is happening or to what happened in the 1929 chart. So let's go back to BTC, USD. So if it failed on the Dow Jones, it could actually fail here as well. So $25,438. Everything is green. So the theory failed on the Dow Jones. I wasn't expecting it for it, but it did. But the reality is there was a gap, so like I said, we could still go back here to the pivot here. 25,579 before finally being rejected. So in BTC's case, it's a little bit different. So in BTC's case, well, where's the pivot here? Pivot is at 93.80, so I guess the Dow Jones is finding resistance, although there is none. According to this chart, there is no resistance in the around the level where it gapped down, or maybe it just came for a retest and yeah, it's going back down again. It's quite possible. That happens a lot in the stock market as well. So, but it doesn't add up to what the 1929 chart said, because according to that, it said it didn't go back to the gap. But like I said, that it doesn't mean that it means anything, because everything else has been playing out perfectly. like I said, you know, the highs I was actually expecting here in the Dow Jones. In the Dow Jones, I was expecting here for that pattern to conclude here. I was actually expecting a double bottom at 96,612, which didn't happen. So, and yet, and it still went down. So, like I said, the little small details, you know, that's not very important. Although I thought this would actually play it out. It's a theory, like I said, of mine. So it didn't play it out, but it looks like we're already starting to go down again. So maybe we just came back to the gap and we continued to go down. Like I said, that happens a lot as well. So it's not nothing out of the ordinary. So BTC USD. This shit sucks, man. BTC USD. So let me go back to see here. DJY. Yep, I guess the Dow Jones is fighting that gap area. So the Dow Jones is still hanging around that area. Like I said, maybe that was just a retest to fill the gap. So the gap is filled. Although that doesn't happen many times, does it? Well, it didn't fill this one. That one it didn't fill. Another gap here. That wasn't filled as well. Another gap here. Yeah, what the hell are these gaps in kind of the middle of all this? Not doing anything. So this one was filled. This was actually filled as well. But not this one. This gap here was not filled. This gap here was not filled. Because it went up. When it opened already, it gapped down. So I guess we can't call that a fill, I think. So it wouldn't be actually surprising me that the Dow Jones could actually go to these levels again here to close the gaps here, maybe even this one. That could be possible. Although this is a pivot here, so this is actually a very important support. If it breaks it, then yeah, this is the hard line to break this pivot. So let's see if it can do it, because like I said, there are still two gaps here kind of left to fill, because it went up, it never got, I don't know, I don't believe it was filled, because it opened up in here and then it never came back. So I don't know, maybe this gap here needs to be filled, although I don't believe it necessarily has to happen, because let's see, let's kind of track these gaps here. So that gap wasn't filled, this gap wasn't filled here as well, so between here and here wasn't filled. Let me see if we have other ones that weren't filled. So this gap needs still to be filled as well. Let's see if other gaps that are unfilled. So this was filled, this was filled. Let's continue to go down. So this was filled as well. Another gap here that wasn't filled at 21,107. Then we have another gap here that wasn't filled at 1961. So yeah, maybe these gaps need to be filled, you know. I guess there's another one that wasn't filled here, or must have been filled by now, right? Yeah, they have been filled by now. So looks like kind of the gaps are still left to fill are these here at the lows. Interesting, once again, interesting. So we have a gap fill at 156, which is a gap that needs to be filled. So yeah, it actually adds up according to the gaps here. So maybe we still have to fill these gaps here before we can return down, because this gap here is still open as well. These gaps in the lows, these gaps in the lows were not filled. That gap here, this wasn't filled, so we still have an unfilled gap at 19109.3, so which coincides with the lows once again. So I don't know if we still need to fill these ones, because that one was left unfilled since it started to go up, so it doesn't necessarily need to go there. But yeah, I guess that's the reason why we need to retest these levels again, the lows again. So at least we will have to come back here to 19,123, where this gap is. So we have to go down to this level. Like I said, it all adds up, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. So the Dow Jones is still fighting around that gap. It's going for the pivot. We take a look at BTC. Well, if BTC actually already did get to the levels, not yet, almost. So it might break as well, or forming a double top and then drops. But just according to see that the Dow Jones broke it. If the Dow Jones broke it, we might actually see breaking it too. Yep, we're not there yet. Yep, Dow Jones futures is kind of going higher as well, so let's check out what the Dow Jones is doing still. I guess Bitcoin must be breaking that thing right now because of the futures. No, Bitcoin is not doing much. Let's go back to the Dow Jones again. See if this was a double top, or if it wants to break this pivot here. Yep, the Dow Jones is still hovering around that pivot area. Yeah, so I guess BTC already broke that area too that I marked. Yep. So let me remove this here as well. Yeah, to be honest, I wasn't expecting for the Dow Jones to go to that level, but like I said, there are similarities, but there are things that are not playing out, like that W or M pattern that didn't close up on the Dow Jones. It closed up on the S&P. So, and like I said, you know, the Dow Jones is hovering around this pivot area. If it gets rejected, we're going down again. So if it breaks, then we might continue to go up. That's basically how it works. These pivots are important, even more important than the support and the resistance ones. So it looks like it doesn't want to do it right now, so it's dumping a bit. Let me check if the stream is still online. I remove this. DGY. Didn't I had fib circles here? Maybe I didn't do it for this one. Just remove here the pivots. Thought I created some circles here where I can see them, unless I just color them. Yeah, I guess I remove them, but I can put them back. Just let me go back here. Fib circles. Stretch it a little bit more. So it actually adds up with these two little wicks there. So this is done. Let's do another one here. I have to change color so that I can put them apart and to see if this fits anything. Not until now. Let's continue to build it, build it, build it, build it. Yeah, I guess kind of ends up like this. And now let's do another one in this trend here. Let's give it another color. Let's give it the yellow one. Let's put the pivots back to see where we at. Yeah, it's at pivot right now. We are at pivot right now. So I would say that the next, if it breaks, the next resistance should be around this resistance line and this fib circle here. 25.822. So we're having a little bit of a resistance. The pattern is not playing out currently as it should. But like I said, there are deviations, so you can't just take face value for it, because that's just how the markets work. So let's continue to keep our eyes on the Dow Jones Industrials to see if it breaks this pivot level here. Looks like it's doing it right now. It's retracing a little bit. Yeah, it might not break it, you know. It might not break it. Let's see what Bitcoin is doing here. Yeah, for the futures, the pivot is at around 25,560. It's not quite reaching it. Let's check once again what the Dow Jones is doing. So the Dow Jones is getting rejected for now at that level. Looks like we have a drop going on at that pivot. So looks like the Dow Jones is getting rejected at the pivot here. It's going for another retest. Yep, the Dow Jones is continuing to go down. Let's take a look at the futures. The futures are still high. Check out where the pivot is here. What's this? Yeah, the pivot is around here as well. 25.57. Yeah, it looks like the Dow Jones is getting rejected there. God damn it, what the fuck is going on, man? Is it because of this color here? What the hell, man? Maybe it is because of the color, I don't know. Let's put on a green one instead of a blue. So yeah, the Dow Jones is coming back. It's coming back to the gap area. The futures are starting to drop as well. Yep. Yeah, just according to what I see, if the Dow Jones loses that support of around 25,145, then yeah, we're going lower. So we're still hovering at support. It's at around the gap. Now I guess it's trying to go high a little bit again. Okay guys, I need to eat something. I'll be back later. Maybe there's more development going on. I'll be back guys later.